today I'm going to make a case for walking, and hopefully by the end of this you have more reasons than not to begin a walking habit. I think walking is one of the best things anyone can do to get fit, to sustain fitness, and to improve mental health. I have always walked a lot. I'm from New York, so walking is just a part of my day-to-day life for the most part. But I've more recently, in the past few years, have taken up walking as a physical activity, as a habit, and I've come to the conclusion that walking is the perfect, no pun intended, first step for most people. As you may know, walking is one of the 3 pillars of my fitness framework called basl, and it really is because I now think of it as something that is foundational to my life, and it is a fundamental daily habit that I always come back to, and at this point, my days aren't the same if I haven't walked. If I feel uninspired, if I feel confused, if I feel a little sad or down, and I haven't walked, 9 times out of 10, if I go on a walk, those problems, either the solutions become clear or the problems seem to completely disappear and, they weren't problems at all. So let's start with getting fit and why I think walking is the perfect catalyst to that process for most people. And the first reason is because it is incredibly accessible. The barrier to entry to walk is very, very low. All you need is a pair of sneakers and the outdoors. And before I go further, I would like to clarify that yes, I absolutely prefer for people to walk outside. I get into this actually in a newsletter that I will link below, because that's not the focus of this video or this talk, but you need to walk outside. The point isn't just to collect steps, but it's to be outside and mentally ground yourself, and we will actually talk on that on the mental side of things. But in terms of getting fit, the reason a lot of people don't go to the gym or they don't start running is because the barrier to entry really is too high. You go to the gym and it's incredibly intimidating. I myself can attest to this, even as a trainer, even as someone who's been going to the gym for years consistently. It's intimidating. Even when I go into new gyms and new facilities, I'm like, I don't know anyone here. I've never seen that machine before. What am I supposed to do? Oh, there's no room here. Am I in someone's way? Oh, those people seem to be working out together. It can be very intimidating. And so I understand why people kind of shy away from that. Not that you shouldn't try and push yourself, but I empathize. And so walking is something you can do very easily. It's very simple. It's very accessible, and you can do it alone. You don't have to rely on anyone, and there isn't any real physical prerequisites to taking a walk. The next part to getting fit is the fitness part. And with walking, there's 2 reasons why I really like it, especially for beginners. The first is that it is zone 1 cardio. So someone that is starting their fitness journey, cardiovascular health is incredibly important. And in terms of longevity and something that's going to give you the biggest bang for buck in terms of improving your quality of life, cardio is the thing that most people should focus on first, because it works your heart. And your heart is the most important muscle in your body. It's not your bicep. It's not your quadricep muscles. It's not your glutes. It is your heart. And I think it is very easy to forget that and get away from that fact, because right now strength training is incredibly popular, rightfully so. But I don't want people to forget about their cardiovascular health. That is going to have your resting heart rate has the greatest correlation with your all-cause mortality. So your likelihood of dying is closely correlated to your resting heart rate and your VO2 max. If you're going to start a cardio habit, start with zone 1 cardio, start with walking. The second reason I like walking is for the calorie expenditure. Obviously, you are not going to be burning as many calories as you would if you were running or jogging or cycling or swimming or playing sports. Of course, it's, like I said, it's zone 1 cardio. But the benefit, especially for someone who's just starting on the fitness journey, most likely if you are this person, you are trying to lose weight in some capacity. The vast majority of our country is overweight. The benefit is that cardio doesn't spike your hunger. When people want to start a fitness journey and they immediately just start with running or they start with strength training, they aren't prepared for how much more hungry they are going to be doing this physical activity, increasing their physical activity, right? It makes sense. You're increasing your physical activity, so your body demands more calories. Walking doesn't spike your hunger in that way. And so, for example, I walked 7 miles yesterday with my dog. The goal wasn't 7 miles. I kind of wanted to see how far he could walk, and he was actually fine by the end. I was a little tired, but after I walked the 7 miles, I wasn't ravenous when I came home. I had a protein shake, and I think, that was my dinner pretty much, because I was full from the protein shake and I wasn't ravenous from the 7 mile walk. But if I had run 7 miles, my hunger is usually blunted immediately after the bout, but later on, I'm telling you right now, I would be absolutely starving. And I'm prepared for that, so I know how to prepare for it because I know that it's coming. But for people who are not prepared for that, for people who are trying to lose weight, they don't expect it and they don't always make that immediate connection that, okay, I'm going to be hungry in a few hours. I need to prepare for this ahead of time. And so they end up just eating back the calories they're burning, and then they don't lose weight. And then they think, oh, I'm doing this wrong. I started running. I can't lose weight. Running is the wrong way. And you can see how someone can start to spiral with that way of thinking. But with walking, that doesn't even have to be a concern. You are not going to be hungry in the same way, which is going to make eating in a calorie deficit, which is required for fat loss, much, much easier. So we have zone 1 cardio, an extra calorie burn, and appetite control as the 3 reasons why I like walking as a first step for people who want to get fit. All the reasons listed here are also the reasons why I like walking as a way to sustain fitness. I think in the fitness space, it's very easy to overly focus on the getting fit, but not necessarily on the staying fit. So it's kind of like dieting. People focus so much on how they're going to lose weight, how they're going to diet, all the foods they're going to cut out, all the stuff they're going to do to drop the weight. And once they drop it, they don't know what to do to keep it off. They don't know what not eating in restriction looks like. And because they don't know what not eating in restriction looks like, oftentimes that's why the pendulum swings the other way and they binge because they don't really know where that middle ground is. And in my experience, by keeping walking as just like a base habit, something you do every day, day in and day out, no matter what is happening in your life, no matter how busy or not busy you are, by keeping a walking habit, I found that it is much easier for me to stay in an appropriate level of fitness, even when I can't get to the other things I do to maintain my fitness, such as strength training or running or playing recreational sports like basketball and stuff. Even when I can't do those things, I can walk. And yes, it's not like, I'm not going to be in the best shape ever just walking, but I'm still doing the practice. I'm still practicing moving my body. I'm still practicing prioritizing my body. I'm still practicing being in a certain mindset about my body and about my health and about my fitness. And that's really what it is about. It's about keeping a certain mindset about yourself and about your relationship to fitness. And that is how you stay fit and get out of that binge and restrict mindset, because life is going to get in the way sometimes. You are going to be busy sometimes, but having sort of a base level system, which again is why I created basl, having an operating system you can fall back on with your life and maintain a certain level of fitness is the only way to actually make this a lifestyle. It's not a lifestyle if you are constantly getting fit and then getting out of shape and getting fit and getting out of shape. You have to get fit and you have to stay fit. And the way you do that is by building, cultivating, nourishing basic habits that you can sustain forever. And I genuinely believe walking is one of those things. It is so simple. It is so accessible. It is honestly so easy to do that, again, there's more reasons to do it than to not do it. The final and most important point as to why I think everyone should build a walking habit is the mental aspect. And I touched on this a little bit in the staying fit section, but the mental clarity you gain from going on a long walk. You're going on this walk again outside. You're going on this walk without distraction. Yes, you can, take walking meetings and stuff to collect the steps, max out on steps. I say that all the time. But there's something about taking a moderate to long walk without headphones, without distraction, outside, and it ends up being a moving meditation, and you're able to clear your head. You're able to not think about things. You're able to think about things. You're able to gain inspiration. You're able to problem solve. You're able to breathe. You're able to exhale. There's so much that a walk can solve for people if they did so in a very intentional way. And if you are someone and maybe you find yourself in a rut, maybe you find yourself in a hard place, maybe you're just in your head too much, you're overthinking, I highly encourage you to just go for a walk, because I think you'll be amazed at how much it can solve. I think I'll just leave this one here for today. I feel good with this. If you are looking for a simple training framework to follow and you don't want to spend more time than you need in the gym, I have my basl 4x4 training system in the description below. You can check that out. And if you are interested in one-to-one coaching, I also do that, and the details for that are below as well. And I will see you in the next one.